Hey YouTube land, welcome back to another action figure review by Tyke Hunters, and today we are looking at another action figure, this time by the folks of Jadatoys, and this is one of their Street Fighter sets. This is actually the Street Fighter 2 Final Challenge, or Street Fighter 2 Ultra, the Final Challenge, Violent Ken. Now this is part of the Next Level figure series, and this is part of their kind of deluxe style figures. So this is Violent Ken. So you have the Final Challenge on the side, you have an image of Ken on the front, you have another image of Ken with the arms crossed on the side, and you have the same image of the kind of video game background with Ken, was it Ken Masters with his arms crossed and looking like something out of Rob Liefeld art piece with his huge chest for some reason. So this is actually a slip box cover. So if I open and pull off the slip for this, you can see other figures on the back of the box. So it is a window style box packaging. So if you don't want the slip cover on it, you can display the figure in the box with this style. So obviously the figure is not in the box and has been removed, but we'll get into what he comes with in a minute. So you can see pretty much a lot of stuff that he comes with, and on the back of the box you have other figures that have been released. You have Evil Ryu. E Honda actually hasn't been released. I think that's the character select across the board. So, but out of the figures that have been released has been Evil Ryu, Blanca has just been released. Guile is out. Fei Long is out. Balrog hasn't been. Sagat has just been released. There's a Violent Ken. There's also an Evil Ken, I think, as far as I know. There's regular Ken. Chun-Li has. Zangief hasn't. Dalsum has. Chami has. DJ has. Vega is on the cards. Bison is out. I can't remember the name of this guy, unfortunately. As I said, E Honda has not been released. So I think the characters that have yet to get released are Balrog. I can't never remember this guy's name as well. I think he was like one of the final boss guys. So you had E Honda, this guy. I keep wanting to call him Nightwolf, but Nightwolf is the Mortal Kombat character. I cannot remember the name of this guy. So Balrog, this guy as well. There's not too many that haven't actually been released. They've pretty much been consistent across the board. They've been doing like 2 to 3 figure waves, so they've gotten nearly everything out with a couple of variants. There's a variant of Chun-Li in the, she has, her standard one is the blue, I'm not sure what it's called. Is it Shenslong? Whatever, the Chinese style dress that she wears. There's a red variation of that. Who else has had variations? I think there's a variation, might be a variation of Guile. I have a feeling there was a variation of Guile. I know Ryu and Ken have variations. Oh, and there's a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive version of Bison in the blue uniform instead of the red. So that's pretty much it for the box. Now, it does show his country of origin, which is the United States on this. What's different from the previous boxes, if I can dig up one of my previous boxes, is on the, this is the one for Cammy. You can see on the side of the Cammy box, it actually gives, not only does it give country of origin, it gives her fighting style as well. It doesn't do this for this version of Ken. It did say it on his regular box. Now, unfortunately, I do not know where his regular box is. I may have already chucked it out because I don't see it to hand, but it does on the regular boxes, it does give a country of origin and fighting style, and there are a few bits of information about the character. So we'll get everything set up and then we'll have a look at the figure. So here is the figure in all his glory. He is essentially the same figure as the standard Ryu, the only difference being the paint applications and his, I think, the base plastic for his skin tone. So I'll bring in the tape measure first and have a look at how tall he is. So he does stand in around the 6-inch line format. So if you have anything in that line, he should stand, you know, he will look kind of cartoony next to some stuff. So here is classified Destro. You can see he does stand around the same height as classified Destro. And we'll bring someone else from his similar line. Here is Guile. Guile is a little bit taller just because of his weird puffy hair. That big weird hairdo that he has makes him a bit taller than this guy. But like, for the most part, he's going to stand pretty well with any of the other Street Fighter characters. I don't have my full selection of them with me, so I can't really dig them all out and show them side by side. But for another kind of random character, which is another 6-inch line, but it's a little bit more limited in articulation, here is the Alfred Pennyworth, the Batman 66 style one. As you can see, he still, even though he's a way more chunkier and buffer than poor Alfred, he does stand pretty much on par with those figures as well. So for his accessory account, he does come with quite a good few bits and pieces. So he comes with the exact same two hands that the standard Ken has. So he has closed fists and he has these kind of open, I wouldn't call them fully open palms. They're more like and they're not a grabbing fist, they're like a defensive pose, I suppose, is the blocking palm. It's for the Hadouken, for when you're posing him for doing that, because it's the same kind of hand stance that they do for it. We'll just move him aside. So he comes with the exact same two heads that the standard one has. So he has this kind of smiling head, and then he has the teeth gritting head, and then he comes with one extra head, which is the one that I have on him, which is the shouting head. So he does have one extra head that the standard one does not have. He also has one extra accessory that the standard figure doesn't have as well, which is this fist punch thing. So it just slides onto his hand. Make sure I got it the right way around. Is it the right way? I think it should only go on one way. Yeah. So it is like a fireball punch thing that just fits over his fist. So I think you can put on either hand as well. So obviously it's designed for when the fist is actually on the hand and not this grabbing hand. So if you have the fist on, just pull his hand out. Sorry about that. It should, in theory, be able to go on this hand as well. So let's get it the right way around. Make sure it's in the right position. There we go. So you can, yeah, you can have the flame effect, or whatever you want to call it, the power punch effect, in either one of these hands, depending on which one you have the fist on at the time. You can do that. So for the basic accessories, he does have pretty much the same thing, except the extra head and that extra punch. He also has the Hadouken blast, which is the same thing that comes with the standard Ken, and it also is the same one that comes with the Ryu figure. Now, I do not have a Ryu figure, so I'm not sure the coloration. I'm assuming the coloration on the Ryu one is blue. In keeping, well, depending on which version of Ryu you have, the standard Ryu comes with a blue one of these, because that's the color I remember it being. And I think, I don't have to hand, I think his Ken's standard one, the one that comes with the regular version, is a yellow. Unfortunately, I do not have it to hand to compare it with. But then he comes with two other accessories, which are fairly large. So we'll remove his smaller ones out of the way. So he comes with these big oil canisters. In fact, I have one of them upside down. So there's some small detailing on these. He comes with one that is broken. and is intended to be broken. It's supposed to have been one that he has punched to bits, and they're flat on one side, and then they have a small indent for where the oil would be, the cap would be on the top of the oil drum, and they're done in a really nice kind of goldy bronze color with a bit of wash on it, which is kind of nice. It gives it a bit of depth to the color. It's not just plain bronze or plain gold color. As it, this one is hollowed, and it doesn't fit, like it doesn't stick together. You can just rest it on the top of it to make it look like it's sitting together. What is also handy is it can be used as a handy dandy storage for some of the accessories if you don't want to lose them. So you can chuck his extra head, extra hand. You can't fit the Hadouken in there, but if you want to store his little bits in there, it is handy to have that. So for the figure, we'll just have a quick look at him. He is exactly the same as the standard Ken figure. Now I'll bring in my standard Ken figure in a minute. The main differences, he has all the same articulation as the other Ken figure. Main differences is the skin tone, that plastic that they used is more flesh tone than the kind of bright tanned skin tone. In fact, you know what, I'm going to bring them in so you can see them side by side. So it kind of reminds me of kind of He-Man, the original one. It has that kind of really tan skin tone with a kind of a brownish, light brown wash, whereas this one has a purple wash. Now his gi is also, it's the same red gi with a wash over it as well, the same purple wash or accents to it. So this one is just plain. I don't think there's any detailing wash on it, or hopefully you can see this on camera or on screen. There is subtle purple washes on this. The other thing is his hair. So his hair is a separate piece to the head in the sense that it's glued onto the head, so it isn't part of the, molded as part of the head. He does have a different colored hairpiece. It's more paler. It's not as vibrant blonde. It's still a blonde, but it's not super vibrant. It's more of a creamy blonde. In fact, if I bring out the same head, which one is that? It's the smiling head. See if I can get it the first time. Nope. We'll swap out heads so you can see them, how they look side by side. Heads are just on a ball joint, so you can see if I get him standing back to back. You can see the paint apps are pretty much identical for the face, as in like he still has the same color eyebrows and he has the same kind of bright white teeth. And I think the colors are different. The eye colors are different, all right. The pupils are different, but like the hair, it's the exact same sculpt. The only difference is the plastic that it's painted in. This one has a slight yellowy orange wash to it. This one has the paler cream color, but there is a slight wash on it as well. Not sure if the camera is picking it up, but there is a slight wash to it. It's kind of almost like a white or off-white going through it. You see on his feet, that pinky purple wash kind of goes all the way through all the skin tone areas. You can see there is a wash on this guy, but this is more of a orange kind of flesh wash, as you call it, and this is more of a purple undertone. So there is quite a, it does make him look a good bit different. Although the other version of Ken, there is a third version which has just an alternate color gi on as well, so he doesn't have just the same red gi. I think it's a gray one, if I remember correctly. Or is that the Ryu? I think it's gray, if I remember correctly. It's a dark gray version of the gi. I don't have that version, so I'm not sure if the hair and skin tones are the same as the original, just with the different color gi on. So articulation, he has all the same articulation points as the original. So he has arms can swing around, arms can go up that much. There is a butterfly joint. I'm not sure if you can see it in there, but it is in the shoulder. He has bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He has swivel on the wrist, and depending on which hand you have in, he has a joint on that hand as well. He has double jointed or dual jointed neck. So he has one at the base of the neck where it meets the body, and one at the base of the head where it meets one at the base at the top of the neck where it meets the head. So you get good range of movement on that. He does have a diaphragm joint. It is a bit hindered a slight bit by the gi, but it's not too bad. He does have a waist joint as well. He does have splits. He does have a thigh swivel. He does have the double jointed knees. He has technically boot cut, but it's where his ankle or the top of his leg meets the pants. And he does have the rocker ankles, his peg holes, and he can get him into some fighting poses. Let's see if we can get him to stand without using his clone or duplicate as a balancing board. Let's see, can we get you to stand again? We'll try and do a kick. Come on. Sometimes I think some of them are easier than others to get them to stand. Yeah, he's not going to play ball. I don't think so. Maybe bend his leg a bit. Yeah, if he has a peg hole, he might actually stand. I know there's peg holes on these plates, so I don't know if there's one close by. Will his foot fit the peg? Probably not. Just barely. But he is posable. We'll just give him that. Yeah, some poses require, support. But he is quite a posable character, as is nearly all the Street Fighter figures. So you can get some kind of good action posing out of him. And posability is quite high. So all in all, he isn't too bad a figure. He's not that much more expensive than the regular version, what I paid for. Now, I picked him up a while back because there was a kind of pseudo comic convention sort of thing going on in the city where I live. They had like a comic expo thing, and the crowd that had him was Big Bad Comics over here in Ireland. They're from Dublin originally, but they were on kind of going to different places with this comic expo thing, and they had this version of Ken, and I think he was only like 10 euros more expensive than what you would pay for the regular one. So he wasn't like ludicrously expensive for being kind of a deluxe, or sort of, I'm not sure if he's exclusive, but he wasn't that much more expensive. Expensive. So we'll just bring in Guile here, his fellow American actually, which is the only other. I do have Cammy, Bison, and Chun-Li. I just don't have them here at the moment where I do my recordings, so I can't bring them in to do a comparison or showcase them with this guy. But they are pretty much on par and quite similar altogether across the board. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review for the Violent Ken. Now, I'm not too familiar with the Violent Ken character. I'm not sure if he's like an unlockable character or if it was just like an alternate boss style character where he's like brainwashed by Bison and you have to fight him in one of the fights. It is possible. I'm not too sure. It's been ages since I played the Street Fighter games, and I can't remember the lore too much on it. But overall, he's not a bad figure. He's quite cool. If you like if you're a diehard collector and need to get every figure, he's probably one that you want to pick up. But if you want just a regular Ken, you're not missing out much. The only thing is that alternate head and the flame, and then the 2-barrel accessories, which you can either love or hate. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and please hit that like and subscribe button, and share this video with people who you think might appreciate it. The more likes and subscribers I can get, the better, or the more I appreciate it. So cheers, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great one.